Hello, and welcome to the Monday edition of Litter Media Live. Today is the anniversary of when my broadcast career began. Day one of the American School of Broadcasting. That was on a Monday in 1980. And do you know one of the first people I met?
P.J. Royal.
No. The Reverend J. Troy Gray. First time I remember having a conversation with Troy Gray was on this date in 1980. We should have made that this date in history
didn't tell
segment
me.
today. I didn't think about it. So
you could have drew Troy's picture.
we
What did he look like then?
he was like me, thinner.
Thin as this microphone stand. Yeah.
I won't go that far. He was wasn't real husky, but he was not the man he is today, nor was I. So I keep telling Missy, I said, I'm twice the man you were when we got married.
Actually, I worked with Troy for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, WCHI.
He came and went.
I can't remember if the went part was where he had locked himself out on a Sunday morning of the radio station. He had gone down to like the certified station to get a newspaper and came back and couldn't get in.
And he was afraid to come back.
He would have a story on that, I'm sure he would share with you. All right, I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith. And over there is Mr. Hand 2, Aaron Glandon, who has a story he'll share with us today. We had him out and about covering some newsworthy events, something that he actually had a hand in doing before he came here. Details in just a moment. But first, it's hot outside.
You haven't noticed, huh? Heat advisory continues through Wednesday evening of this week. Daytime highs in the mid-90s. The heat index will feel like 104 on occasion. Now, there is some relief in sight. We're looking for showers to be back in the picture, possibly by Wednesday evening, and a chance of rain each day Wednesday through the weekend. So a little bit of a dry spell compared to what we've had, and then rain back later this week.
And from what we're being told, some of those will be like pop-up showers, those things that kind of make it just steamy. You know, you'll have that afternoon shower, the sun comes out, and next thing you see is steam coming up off the parking lots.
Right. So if your grass did grow over the last few days, today and tomorrow is your chance to get on it.
Mine got a haircut finally. It was late Saturday afternoon after Vacation Bible School, but it needed it big time, and I just haven't had a chance to get around to it. Dan Jr. had done it for me for Father's Day, but he didn't do the trim, so I had more trim to do and all that kind of stuff.
Thanks for the gift, Danny.
Much like he was when he was a teenager. Coming up in just a moment, what's making news for us today as we jump into a work week, but also some of the things we saw over the weekend. All that's just ahead. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They were at Dan Jr.'s house when I left this morning. I met another truck coming. They're working on plumbing at his place today. And I think I need to get a hold of them about our air conditioner because Mom's not happy.
I bet.
She says it's hot in the house. So if you've got issues like that, check in with your trusted comfort advisor, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, accuratehvac.com.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc. Minimally invasive spinal surgery got him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
You know, it's summertime, officially, as of Friday evening. But Hometown Motors Incorporated has been having this spring sales event. It's been extended.
Well,
It's now become a summer sales event, at least for the first few days of summer. Hometown Motors Incorporated, stop in 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99. New walk behind starting at $399.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. New chainsaw starting at $279.99. New blowers starting at $199.99. And new trimmers starting at $229.99. Hurry in. There's no guarantee that is going to become a fall sales event. So get out to Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors. Go to our website, littermedia.com. And just like with any of the ads you see there, we've directed you to for accurate heating, cooling, and plumbing. And Hometown Motors, you click on that, and it takes you right to the advertisers' websites or their Facebook page. You can find out more about them all right there. But if you want to find out more about us, all of our social media information is up in the upper right-hand corner of littermedia.com. Where are we starting today?
Well, we were talking about the heat a little bit earlier, so let's talk about how that affects not only us, but our furry friends. Ross County Humane Society is urging pet owners to use caution with upcoming extreme high temperatures. Dogs don't perspire like we do. They pant to cool off, and that doesn't work well when it's 90 degrees with no breeze. Heat stroke in dogs can happen fast, and a cracked window or running AC inside your vehicle isn't a guarantee of safety. Temperatures inside a parked car can hit 120 plus degrees in just minutes. So if the AC fails, you won't know until it's too late. So I know a lot of times people have their animals in their car. They go in the store, leave the pets inside. That's not a good idea in weather like this.
I did see on Facebook over the weekend there was a sign on a car, and the sign said, "He's okay, he's been watered, he's all right." Well, as the camera went beyond that, I'm expecting to see a dog sitting. It was the husband of the wife who left the sign. He was sitting in the car, taking a nap, waiting for her to come back from shopping. But I just wanted to throw that in there. It's not safe for kids or for animals.
Or old people like me.
Or anybody. All right, we had the Ross County Park District involved with something this past Friday, and our Aaron Glandon, former Ross County Park District employee, was there.
I was there. The Herron-Downs Finn Nature Preserve, which is their newest park, the grand opening was at noon on Friday, June 20th, and it marks a historical achievement in Ross County. Herron-Downs is a calcareous fin, which is a rare type of wetland, and according to some of the scientists that worked on it, they believe it's the largest calcareous fin in the world, or one of. According to Miranda Vance, Executive Director of the Ross County Park District, the trail experience at this new nature preserve is designed to serve as an outdoor classroom, helping people understand why protecting places like this isn't optional, it's essential.
Did you take this full walk?
I did. 3.6 miles.
That's a long walk.
How about that?
It wasn't that bad.
Was it hot?
It was pretty hot, but a lot of it was through the trees, so it was shaded.
I did see a number of people with water bottles in their backpacks, that sort of thing. But Miranda was saying during the opening that they're going to put a water station in.
Yes, she did say that.
Very nice. And these bridges were built by Boy Scouts?
I know at least one of them are. I'm not sure because there was more than one bridge on the trail, but I know at least the first one was built by, I can't remember his name, Cooper something, as his Eagle Scout project.
Wow. That's neat.
Very Nice. Well done.
Yes, sir.
And well covered for that calcareous fin, whatever that was.
And we have an interview with Miranda Vance in our website story if you want to watch that.
Is that on YouTube also?
It's also on YouTube.
Okay, very good. The Gates Foundation of Ross County Scholars Fund has announced the 2025 class of recipients, with scholarships being awarded to 20 continuing and incoming area students. Larry Gates and his wife, Mary, who I spoke with this past week, very nice individuals, established the fund to relieve much of the financial stress involved with attending college, thus helping talented, hard-working Ross County students pursue their ambitions. This marks the 22nd class of scholars since the scholarship fund's inception back in 2004. Approximately 300 scholarships have been presented, and you and I, Mike, can recall when this all started. And when Larry came back home to Chillicothe, he wanted to make an impact, and he and Mary certainly have.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Nice crowd that turned out at Sugarloaf Mountain Amphitheater last night for Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. Played many of the bluegrass favorites spanning several decades. He was last here in 2016. People showing their appreciation right there. And as I was checking some of this out firsthand, my video, you cannot see Ricky. He's the one behind the post. I couldn't tell that when I was shooting it. But there's a fellow right in front here. There he is, the big fat Italian. Did you see him go by? Frank Nunziato was there. Hadn't seen Frank for a long time. But it's good to have all those folks. The Scioto Society's Brandon Smith visited with me beforehand and shared some breaking news. After Tecumseh's run for the summer, the Mothman Experience, of course, will be the Haunted Mountain feature this October. They've planned some fundraisers for November. But here's what's coming in 2026.
In February, we're going to be doing a very small cabaret-style performance of a show called I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. And we'll do that right around Valentine's Day as a dinner theater. So we'll get to cracking on that pretty quick as soon as we're done
Have
here.
you selected the place to do this?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If anybody has a space.
That's how breaking it is.
That's right.
It'll be someplace indoors.
That's right.
It's February, so keep that in mind. So a night of cabaret coming your way around Valentine's Day. You can learn more about everything going on at Sugarloaf Mountain Amphitheater by visiting tecumsehdrama.org.
An updated zoning code review for the city of Chillicothe. They're having an open house for this Wednesday, late afternoon, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. That's at the Carlisle meeting room in the Carlisle building at 9 South Paint Street. They'll have a brief overview that'll be provided. And again, that starts at 4:30, and the public is welcome to attend.
Mayor Luke Feeney is going to be here tomorrow for a special edition of Litter Media Live to talk about the 4th of July activities that are going on in the city of Chillicothe. That's July 4th. The city fireworks will begin approximately 9:45 on Friday the 4th. Spectators should be positioned and prepared by 9:30. Parking will be limited. Traffic flow around downtown will be modified. The annual pool party will be held from 7 until 10 p.m. on the 4th there at the pool in the Octangie Park. Individuals can purchase tickets through the City of Chillicothe Parks and Recreation Department. The Chillicothe Trolley will also be operating its downtown route on Friday the 4th from 2 until 8 p.m.
Speaking of the pool, the Chillicothe Municipal Pool will have a special night swim coming up on Friday, June the 27th, and that runs from 8 to 10 p.m., 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets are $3 per person. Kids 2 and under get in free, and there will be some concessions there.
When I think of night swim, I think about skinny dipping and Navy SEALs doing their thing.
Okay.
I hope none of that happens.
I thought you were getting ready to go into a story from your childhood.
There is a story not from my childhood, but my sister-in-law's childhood, and she would not want me to share that.
Okay.
PICA Weatherization Repair Program is now open to registration for needy Pickaway Countyans. Those openings are limited, so here's the number to call. It's 740-477-1655, extension 1020. Spaces again are limited, so don't wait.
City of Chillicothe had something comparable to this last weekend, but it's coming to Circleville on the 28th. They're calling it the Pickaway Blooms. This is a private, curated floral tour happening this Saturday. It's June 28th. It's a one-of-a-kind experience celebrating the gardens, growers, and natural beauty of Pickaway County. The day begins at 8 a.m. with various stops. Tickets are $45 per person. For more information, contact the Pickaway County Visitors Bureau.
Speaking of flowers, how about the Frankfurt Sunflower Festival? It is back July 25th through the 27th. The musical group Yaktanji Fire will open up this year's festival with a concert July 25th at 7 p.m. on the main stage. Is this when you leave town and open your home to people to...
Yeah, right. No, not this year.
Not a bed and breakfast?
Now, this is a picture for those of you who are watching on Litter Media YouTube. Do you recognize any of those fellows?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
assuming they're Chillicothe guys.
They are. They played at the Arts in the Streets here a couple of weeks ago. So I can't see their faces from where we're at right now, but they are some local guys.
Okay, but Valentine's not in this group.
I don't know. Kenny's got his own band.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I couldn't see, again, who all those folks were.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know,
Yeah.
guys jump around from group to group. They go out on their own. They come back, and who knows, maybe
The life of a musician.
Maybe Kenny's doing a set with them. Our road report today, we're talking about a bridge replacement project on State Route 335 between Lucasville-Minford Road and Lyons Road. Work will occur daily for this construction. State Route 335 will be closed for the duration of the project in Scioto County. Traffic is detoured via State Route 823 to US 23 to Route 32, and this project runs through this fall.
Baseball, basketball, and this state in history, all just ahead. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you have the need for a dumpster, give them a call, 740-253-8389. That could be at your residence or your business. They can help. 740-253-8389. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
I was waiting for another commercial to play. Our producer just kind of went, "You're on." He's getting more and more relaxed. Must be still part of the weekend. Yeah. Time for sports. The Chillicothe Paints and the Lafayette Aviators went at it over the weekend, and they'll continue tonight and tomorrow night. The Paints won their exhibition game with the Aviators yesterday, 8-7. The Aviators were 11-1 winners on Saturday night. They'll face each other again tonight and tomorrow in Lafayette, and then that road trip continues throughout the rest of the week. They'll make a stop in O'Fallon, Missouri, and Terre Haute before returning home this Sunday. So no Paints baseball at the stadium this week.
Yeah. Well, the Reds probably should have taken their series against the Cardinals over the weekend. They blew a 5-2 lead going into the bottom of the 8th and then lost in extra innings on Saturday. But this guy's been on fire here lately.
He better be an all-star.
Yeah. Mr. Abbott, Tyler Abbott, pitched very well. Good 7 strong innings. They win 4-1 over the Cardinals.
I think his name is Andrew.
Andrew Abbott, that's what I said, Uncle Doc. Snapped a 3-game losing streak, so now they're 2 games over 500, where they were 4 going into their series with St. Louis. So they're back home tonight to take on the Yankees. The Yankees win. Hopefully they won't be able to say that for the next few days. The Guardians did win their series against the homeless Athletics. Who knows where they're calling home these days. And for the first time in franchise history, Oklahoma City wins an NBA championship. They do it last night, 103-91 in a Game 7 victory over Indiana. Tyrese Halliburton, who was on fire to start the game for Indiana, suffered an Achilles injury early in that game. Despite the fact Indiana was still up by 1 at half, but OKC just kind of took off in the third quarter and ended up winning it 103-91 for the NBA title.
I see ESPN has adopted our image plans of doing drawings now as opposed to an actual photo. Interesting.
Yeah.
This date in history, we go back to
1972. It's still kind of on a sports theme.
Details next.
Litter Quality Propane. Online all the time. Customer payment, account information, and more. Log on at litterpropane.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
You have an opportunity this week to be part of something great. And speaking of McDonald's, they are hiring now. Excited to announce a special 2-day hiring event at McDonald's restaurants in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly. 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. They're hiring, I know it says 5 a.m., but I know that's a typo. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., they're hiring managers up to $20 and crew at $15. And if you go to any McDonald's ad that you see at littermedia.com, when you click on it, it takes you to their jobsmchire.com. So if you want to work here locally, you can. If you want to work in another McDonald's somewhere in the world, you can be placed there. But Mom and Dad would like you to be home, I'm sure. So if you'd like to.
But you can't have Sandra Ogun's job. She's a lock on Western Avenue.
That she is, until she says, you know what, I'm done.
I mean, she's a fixture there. They when they come in, they expect to see Sandra.
Yes, and she's always cleaning up, smiling, and speaking to you.
Every once in a while, people invite her to sit down, and she's kind of like the hospitality person, really. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Neat things at McDonald's.
Time for this date in history. We go back to 1972, and what happened?
Something that's still in the news to this day. Title IX.
Producer. We need the.
Give me his artwork. I'm anxious to see this.
He was in the middle of reading something.
Ah, very well done. Very well done.
I went basic today.
Yeah, that's all it's needed. Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972 is enacted into law. Title IX prohibits federally funded educational institutions from discriminating against students or employees based on sex. It begins, quote, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance," unquote. Mm-hmm. Which meant at the time, if you're a woman, you shouldn't be discriminated against by men.
Right.
Well, that's kind of been a fluid situation, and now it's back to the original 1972 interpretation.
Trying to remember the date of the Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs.
Yeah,
Was
like
that
in the summer.
Was that before or after Title IX was acted upon?
Boy, I'm thinking it was.
Was it the same year? Or was it 73?
I was just a kid, and I think they played it in the Astrodome. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Bobby always had that "I'm running up and jumping over the net" kind of thing.
I think Bobby was in his 50s at the time, and Billie Jean was still pretty much in her prime. So not sure how fair that was. So.
But there was a lot of PR on that.
Oh
event.
my God!
Yeah, I remember that. All right, tomorrow I am out of the house, so to speak, and you guys will be handling the show. You've got a special edition with Mayor Luke Feeney and Bill Knowles from the Chillicothe Rotary. They'll be here to talk about the fireworks and some of the folks making the fireworks happen. Mm-hmm. Remember when they were scrounging to find ways to put a fireworks display on? But now they've done a great job, thanks to many contributors.
Yeah.
Big-time corporate money coming in, and it's a display to be proud of.
Yeah. Tip of the cap to the Rotarians for taking this on here. Actually, it probably started 2 years ago with the planning, and then last year was I think the first year they were kind of cutting it loose.
I think this is actually year 3.
Is that right? I thought last year was the first year.
Yeah. No.
We'll ask Bill tomorrow.
You'll find out for sure from Bill, but I'm pretty sure it's been 3 years.
Bill,
so
be here.
Because we had his brother Brian is involved with the folks who put this on, the Ohio Pyro Arts Guild, and remember him being here a couple of years ago with the big shell.
And this isn't the only show they do, right?
Oh,
they travel. Yeah.
No,
not the Rotarians, but what you're talking about.
Right. The Ohio Pyro Guild, they are everywhere. And a lot of their stuff comes out of the folks at, is it Lancaster or Zanesville? I'm trying to think of the name of the fireworks company. This is Hamburg Fireworks. I think they're in the Lancaster area. But they've done a lot of great work with them, and they bring the shells. They really do. So looking forward to the 4th of July. All right, that's a look at today's program. Back at it again tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live. Thanks for listening on Litter Media Radio and for watching here on YouTube and Facebook.